The way you had rebounded from the second period with the way you played the first
13
or 14 minutes of the third?
First period was perfect. It's the type of game you have to play. It's the first time all year long where we played all 18 skaters the way we need to play for that first period. That was stayed over top people, got pucks deep, defended from the inside out. We're physical. Attacked the net, did what we do, got through the neutral zone. Second period is the exact opposite. Self-inflicted, just decided that maybe that was too much of hard work. Didn't think we could do it for the second period, and it's a broken record. Keep seeing this second period. We keep talking about these second periods. All it does, especially in our building, gives the opposition momentum, and mistakes happen. Second goal, we get on the wrong side of people. Terrible line change, back of the net.
That's how it happened. Jets at noon. Cam Poitras, Jim Toth here. Jets at noon brought to you by Wash Method Car Wash. 690 St. Anne's Road. VIP take on the text line to win a VIP car wash from our good friends at Wash Method. 204-780-6868. We'll announce the winner later in the program, which is coming at you live from the Boston Pizza Studio for gourmet pizza and pasta. Bring the team to Boston Pizza. We'll hear more from Scott Arniel as the show goes on, Jim Toth. But what were your initial thoughts on? I guess let's you know what? Let's wait. Let's clump that homestand all together. We'll talk about that after 12:30. Okay, and we'll talk about the Utah Mammoth and all that sort of stuff. And we'll tie that into this conversation actually with the Utah Mammoth. Last night,
the Mammoth are good, and you and I in the offseason talked, and then even in. We didn't make predictions this year, but we talked about what we thought if there's one team that
we just didn't want to look
West,
we didn't want to look as stupid as we usually are. That's why we didn't do predictions.
We don't like to be wrong. all week long. Just one day of the week we like to.
I can't take it, yeah.
But you and I talked, and we both agreed if there's one team that will make it this year, it's Utah, and would push one of the teams that made it last year out. It's Utah. And I know it's only 9 games in, Cam, and 10 for most teams. But like I watched that Oiler game again last night, they are going nowhere. And I'm sorry for all the Oiler fans out there who go back-to-back Stanley Cups. Well, this is the worst roster you've had in 3 years. And they can't if it's not Draisaitl and McDavid and Bouchard hasn't scored points until this week, and he's been absolutely terrible again. He is not making the Olympic team this year, Evan Bouchard, at $11 million a year because he can't stop turning the puck over. But Utah is going somewhere. Utah has depth. They work hard. They play hard.
Yep.
And the Oilers have a top line that if they don't bail you out with 3 or 4 points a night, your goaltending isn't good, your defense is suspect, and you have one line that can score for you. I think the Oilers might miss the playoffs and Utah might get in.
Really?
Yes.
Oh my God. We'll see.
Because Colorado, I hope that Colorado has depth issues.
Yeah.
The Jets have scoring issues and work ethic, as Scott Arniel just said right now, but they're going to get healthy. Mm-hmm. Vegas is Vegas. Dallas is Dallas. Everybody I've mentioned this early in the season has some warts.
Yeah.
But I don't know, Cam. I don't know that Matt Savoy is going to get you into the playoffs. I don't know that, and we look at the standings, and I know we're supposed to talk Utah here, but I mean,
we can talk Jets, whatever, it's fine. Go for it.
Look, I think that I'm like, well, what are the Oilers going to do? The Oilers are a playoff team. So who are they going to knock out from last year, right? And so I'm looking at the teams that made it last year. I'm like, well, St. Louis could get bumped pretty easy. Minnesota might get bumped this year, and Utah could make it.
Well, you know what? You want to know why I was a believer in Utah, and I still am, and I really think they're a really good hockey team and the up and coming team in the West. And the West is a tough division, particularly the Central. Is how they ended their season and how they played at the end of the year when things were they were not going to make the playoffs. And the unit, I believe in the veterans they brought in. I believe in the talent that they've been developing over many years.
Some smart moves.
I just think that the organization is very well run, and I believe there's buy-in. And you know what? It proved to me. That was a veteran win by the Utah Mammoth last night. Yeah. That was a hang tight and take advantage of the mistakes of the other team. And that's what they did. They made the Winnipeg Jets yesterday pay for the mistakes.
And to what Scott Arniel's talking about, being above the puck and defending from the outside in, that game-winning goal, Hayden Fleury, you cannot have a guy beat you on the inside like that.
Absolutely not.
You have to push him or angle him to the outside. And then you might get beat to the odd puck if you're caught flat-footed.
It was a really nice play and a really nice shot, but you're absolutely right, Jim.
A defenseman cannot get beat inside like that.
No.
To the puck.
Absolutely.
And then that's what happens, right?
Yeah.
And I'm not, harping on Hayden Fleury. He's not the only one. But I saw that and I'm like, oh.
You know what? It was
and Hayden Fleury knows this. Like Hayden Fleury
Yeah.
goes, I can get beat 3 or 4 ways. That's not one of them that I can allow.
I won't even know if it was deflating because I think the Jets had some good looks as the game went on still because I really liked their third period.
Yeah. Well, they come back, right?
Yeah. I mean, they had great pushback. I mean,
they're a veteran team that can come back.
I felt like leading up to that goal, I felt like the Jets had the best third period, but it's the second period. That's what Scott Arniel's harping on. We're at that point, Jim, where it's like the second period is just becoming something and there's no rhyme or reason for it. Like I went and looked up a bunch of reasons as I go to my places, I look in my areas of the internet and I talk to the people that I talk to and I'm trying to figure out, okay, why could a second period be a struggle? Or why is sometimes a specific period become a struggle for a team? And, this person has this answer or that person says this and that. The answer ultimately comes down to really no reason. It's just, I think it just becomes something mental after a while.
For sure it does.
And it just sort of develops into something that you just really don't want it to be. But other than that, like, are the Jets going into the second period saying like, all right, we can cool off and totally take a nap in the second period and then we'll get the game back, or let's start great in the first and then we'll see where things go in the second period and then we'll take the game back over third? No, they're going in there with 100% anticipation of playing 60 minutes, but there's something going on in that middle frame that I don't know. They have to figure out what it is, but I don't think there's anything. I don't think it's any one thing or one thing you can put your finger on.
Here's what I think it is. I think they have really good first periods.
Yeah, they do.
And then they just come out and it's the mental grind, right? It's that mental, well, we had a really good first period. And then the opposite for the other team. The other team's like, we had a really bad first period. We got to dial it up here.
Mm-hmm.
And then they're clashing. And it's a mental thing, a leadership thing to go, we can't allow this anymore. And Scott said he's obviously coaching about it. The other thing I like about last night, and let's make no bones about this, Scott Arniel's mad. This isn't, I'm disappointed or we've talked about this, we'll keep figuring it out. No, he's mad. He knows that without Lowry, Perfetti, and Sandberg, they're up against it this first 2 months. He knows the one thing they can control is work. And he's mad. We've already talked about you could have not waived David Gustafsson and waived somebody else. You didn't. We've already talked about how they're rotating the guys in and out of the lineup to make sure everybody gets some playing time before the injured guys come back healthy and there's no playing time because they're preparing to win the Stanley Cup. And in Scott's mind, like he even said it literally 9 games in. And I think most people go 9 games in.
We'll
get to 10 or 15.
We'll play that clip later on.
But he's not. This is a different year. There's a different emphasis. It's no more, let's get to the playoffs. Let's be as good as we can be. It's night in, night out, be great. That's what championship teams do. And he's mad.
Well, I'll say this, Jim, and it really boils down to this being this simple. 6-3 is a good start.
It is.
It's not good enough.
Unless you lose the kind of games they've lost.
It's not good enough.
Plus, they've also won some games, Cam, where they've gotten outworked. And that'll, just as much as last night's loss will bother a coach, when you win 2-1 or 3-2 or 4-2 with an empty netter and you've gotten outworked and you pull it out, that'll bother a coach because coaches know that's not sustainable.
Well, you know what it is? It's the second goal that Utah scored right off the power play.
Yes.
That is exactly what he was talking about.
It's the penalties again.
It's the penalties, and it's the goal that was the game winner that Dylan Guenther scored. I mean, that was just in your own zone. You got outworked to the puck, and you got beat many, many times leading up to that goal. And the mental mistakes, Jim, like the too many men, that's happening. That's simple mistakes.
And so this is my point, Cam.
It's like getting caught on the wrong side of the puck. You know what I mean? Like that's what led to that 2-on-1. It was like you're just not defending the puck. You're not defending properly. You're getting lost.
You're not a second-year defenseman who's trying to do too much.
Yeah, it's like, what are you doing over there?
You're a 29-year-old D-man that knows that you can't allow a guy to beat you on the inside and down the middle in your own zone.
Call the Boston Pizza Jets at Noon hotline, open 24/7, 204-780-6800. Boston Pizza, come in for lunch every weekday to Boston Pizza. Get a delicious main side and ice cold drink for only $15 only at BP. The number one caller will be awarded a $50 gift card to Boston Pizza. Let's take a break. Let's come back. On the other side, there's a wild long jab going on in the East. Have you seen the Eastern standings?
Yeah.
Eastern Conference standings?
Have you seen the Western?
Well, they're just as crazy. And by the way, everybody who's wondering, and I know that there's millions of people listening right now on bated breath. My son Dory has gone through the wild card round and he's into the quarterfinals of the Baby of the Year contest.
At the most important time, he's playing his best baby.
He is.
The most important time of the year.
He's gone through the regular
it's
season.
Playoff time.
Yep.
And he put on his best baby.
This as of 12, he's into the quarterfinals. As of 20 minutes ago. All I need is your vote. It's a vote for freedom, Jim Toth. It's a vote for liberty.
A vote for Dory is a vote for freedom. We've established that.
Text the show 204-780-6868, 204-780-6868. I will send you the link. Vote for my son, who is the baby of the year. He's about to trounce the other babies in his group.
This is what we're doing.
This is where life is.
We're judging babies.
This is where life's at, Jim.
This baby isn't as good as this baby. That's what we're doing. That's what we're doing.
It's that easy. So the Western Conference is hotly contested, Jim Toth, in the NHL so far. And we're less than a month away from American Thanksgiving, which is sort of the first big note. So, I mean, things, of course, are going to even out a little bit. But if you look at the Eastern Conference, this is crazy. The wild Eastern Conference, all these teams within 8 to 10 games in, 1 point separates the second wild card playoff spot and last in the East right now.
That is incredible.
The Islanders
all have 9 and 8.
Yeah,
points.
The Islanders are 8th place right now in the East, and they have 9 points. And the New York Rangers right now are 16th, and they have 8. And the Rangers suck.
They're 3-5-2.
Sorry, Glenn. My cousin Glenn's listening. Sorry, Glenn. The Rangers are no good. He's a big Rangers fan. Sorry, Glenn.
They suck. Oh, to be polite, they are no good.
It's like that. Yeah. Yeah. So I don't know. That's just like a weird and I don't know if I've ever seen anything like this before.
Well, it's so early, right?
Yeah.
But you bring up a valid point. Like the other thing is so New York Islanders are 4-3-1. They have 9 points the second wild card. Here's the rest of the teams. 4-3-1, 4-4-1, 4-4-1, 4-4-1, 4-4-0, 3-4-2, 4-6, 3-5-2.
Yeah.
I mean, second wild card to the 7th place in the East is 4-3-1, 4-3-1, 4-4-1, 4-4-1, 4-4-1, 4-4-0.
Yeah.
That's bizarre.
That's totally
Usually
bizarre.
somebody's 2 wins and 7 losses or something.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's really interesting. The West is the opposite. Calgary has 5 points. San Jose has 6. St. Louis has 7. Minnesota has 8. Anaheim has 9. The Predators, Oilers, and Canucks and Blackhawks all have 10.
Yeah.
But they basically goes up from 10th to 5th at 5, 6, 7, 8th, and 9th.
Download the Jets at Noon podcast free now on Apple.
Does Dory listen to Skid Row?
Love Skid Row.
Good Canadian.
This is what he listens to when he's
Sebastian
jamming as he tries to win, as he's going to win Baby of the Year.
Baby of the Year.
And the quarterfinals right now.
This comes on.
North America wide competition.
He's probably listening because you're his dad.
Yeah.
He's probably listening. This comes on. He just drops and starts doing push-ups. That's how good of a baby he is. Pushing it out.
This is why he's a quarterfinalist.
6.
He's
7,
in the 1%.
8.
He's a 1%
9,
baby.
10. Let's make the semis, Dad.
Vote for Dory.
11.
Text the show
12,
204-780-6868. I'll send you a link.
Yeah, I mean, we're in game 9 here. It's time to end that stuff. I mean, it's about playing 60-minute games in this league. You're not going to win many, and that's a good young team over there in our division. And if you're not going to play 3 periods, you're not going to have success. And talk to them that what we did in the first period is hard work, and it has to happen each and every shift, and it has to happen from all 4 lines and all of our D. And that's our DNA, is usually our work ethic and our compete. And I didn't like what we saw in the second period.
That was head coach Scott Arniel. Didn't like their second period. Liked their first, liked their third, but they faltered. And it's up to them to fix it. No one's going to be doing No one's going to be doing it any favors in this league. There, Jim Toth.
Now I can't do it for you.
Yeah.
Al Pacino any given Sunday.
You got that right. Jets at Noon brought to you
But
by
I
Wash.
believe.
Jets at Noon is brought to you by Wash Method Car Wash, 690 St. Anne's Road. VIP take on the text line. Win a VIP car wash from our good friends at Wash Method, 204-780-6868. We'll announce the winner later in the program, which is coming at you live from the Boston Pizza Studio for gourmet pizza and pasta. Bring the team to Boston Pizza. Let's here's some more on Arniel and what's gone wrong and how do they fix it.
There's a lot of ways you can look at it. It's the pucks. Our puck management. It's getting on the right side of people. 200 feet from your net. It's not pinching when we don't have an F3. It's not having 3 guys behind the goal line. It's D-zone, getting on the wrong side of people and them beating us to the net front. Have an opportunity to make an outlet pass or chip it outside the line, fight the next 10, 15 seconds instead of trying to hope something in the middle and then creates a turnover and creates extended shifts. So it's stuff that we've been showing and we've been talking about it, and it's going to be one of those situations that doesn't get any better unless we start to do it on a consistent basis each and every period.
So that's from Scott Arniel, and they have the opportunity against the rival Minnesota Wild tomorrow night. So no better time than any to get that to get this thing fixed out. And it's listen. I mean, this is Scott Arniel's job. 100%.
Yeah.
He's got to get these guys. He's got to get these guys going. And let's not get into the doldrums of the fact that it's just late October and we're going into early November. I mean, it's time to get prepared now. We're not going to sit around and wait for March and April to roll around before things get real.
Well, and so this is what I was talking about when you don't have this depth, right?
Yeah.
And I know it's only 3 players, but it's 3 key players. Sandberg would help a lot when it comes to defending.
Mm-hmm.
He would. And no disrespect to Hayden Fleury, I think he deserves to be on this team and in the starting lineup. But if Sandberg was in that 3 spot in the 3-4, things would be different, right? And then Perfetti could provide some offense. And Lowry could help, we're talking about a 2-time Jennings winning roster with those 2 in it to keep some stuff out. So 6-3 is not a bad start. But this is what I kind of said was ominous at the start of the season. And I don't think ominous, I guess ominous is a bad word because some people think it's doom and gloom.
Yeah.
And it is. But you have to play pretty well, solid effort, 60 minutes a night. And I know that's impossible to play 60, but closest to it till these guys come back so that your one line can have an off night or your 2 defensive pairing can have an off night and other people can pick you up. And there's just not enough. There's really good NHL players on this roster, but to me, Dylan Sandberg is an elite defender already in this league. Mm-hmm. Cole Perfetti is a 50-plus point getter in my mind and going to be consistently 60. Adam Lowry is next to impossible to score on. And so you add those in, but this is the ominous part. These aren't some injuries like, Nemestikov's out. No disrespect to Nemestikov. Or your 5'6" guy is injured. You have to tread water here. And what I think Scott Arniel is saying is we can tread water and we can pile up wins when the effort's there. But the mistakes being made aren't those of a veteran team.
Mm-hmm. They're looking at those the game against Seattle, and maybe we can look at the whole homestand. It didn't live up to the Jets' expectations.
What does
this homestand did not live up to the Jets' expectations.
What does Seattle and Utah do, regardless of what their lineup looks like? They'll work you
without a doubt. Yeah.
You have to work hard. Calgary worked hard. But they don't have the offense that Seattle or
they don't have
Utah
they don't have the horses right now.
But Utah has depth and Utah has skill and they work hard. They got a good goal. I'm sorry, Utah looks like the Jets did 5 years ago.
Utah, I'm telling you, I don't post much on X anymore during games because I usually get myself into trouble. But I went and said, man, I'm impressed with this team, man. And somebody messaged me back and saying, yeah, I don't think they're not surprising me anymore. No. When I'm seeing the Utah Mammoth, I'm like, man, that's a hockey team, and they're working as a unit. Everybody there is pulling on the rope, and that's what I saw. And Seattle. But both games were winnable games for the Winnipeg Jets. They were far from blowouts, and there were opportunities where they needed somebody to come up and get a goal. They needed somebody to find the back of the net. And as the game wore on into the third period, there's been chances so far this season, Jim, when they've got that goal and they didn't get it. They didn't get it against Seattle. They didn't get it against Utah.
And so what's frustrating to Coach Arniel, I would presume, is the second periods, right? You have this great first period against all the teams we just talked about.
And they scored 4 times against Calgary.
Then you have this lull in the second.
2 nights before.
And then you come out gangbusters in the third, and you just can't get that equalizer or the extra one. And it's all like, if we didn't do this in the second, we wouldn't be in this spot.
Exactly.
So that's what I think is frustrating.
Adam Lowry, there's talk about a potential AHL conditioning stint with the Manitoba Moose for Lowry.
Dave Minuk of the Illegal Curve put out the clip from Arniel from the weekend where he said we're looking at some options. And
because the Moose are in Tucson, I think, tomorrow and Wednesday. So I don't know if they'd send him to Arizona, but then they're back later this weekend.
Well, he's not due back till November 1st at the earliest.
Yeah.
So let's keep that in mind, that it's not like they need to find him a place this week. But he's been on the ice with the team in a non-contact. But when Dave Minuk put out the comments from Arniel from the weekend, I kind of thought the same thing, but I want to give Minuk credit for this because he put it together that, well, like Arniel basically said in the clip, and I quote, he needs to get out there and bang and stuff and get into some 5-on-5 practices.
The Texas Stars are in town November 2nd and the 3rd. He's been practicing in a non-contact for like a week and a half already. Yeah, for a week and a half now. Jim.
What I take from Arniel's comments is he's ready to get into some 5-on-5 practice time where he's banging and crashing and doing what he does. But the Jets just don't have practice time, right? Like, so they're going to go to Minnesota today. They'll play in Minnesota. Then they'll have to fly home. And I would imagine it's an optional or whatever. Is today an off day?
It's travel day today. That's what the team put out.
So travel day today. So they have an off day coming this week. And then they host Chicago. And so then, and what you're looking for is what Arniel's talking about here is you need a practice day where it's a practice. Mm-hmm. It's not an in-between games day where it's optional, or it's not optional, but if you're even banged up, you don't partake. Mm-hmm. He needs a couple days off to practice. And so they're in Minnesota, so they leave today. They come home probably after the Minnesota game, and Wednesday's an in-between a game day. So it's like whoever got banged up on Tuesday and whoever is banged up, blah, blah, blah. So it's another non-contact. Then Thursday they have Chicago here. Then it's Friday, and then you play a Saturday afternoon game. So Friday isn't going to be a full practice because it's an afternoon game. And then they have Sunday, which I would presume is going to be the off day. And then Monday, and they have to travel to California. Yeah. There's no time for a Jet. So if there's 2 days off in between games, Cam, one, as you know, sorry, I'm just explaining to the listeners, they'll have a day, if there's 2 days off, one of those days will be a full practice. And there's just not that in the schedule for the Jets. And that's what Adam needs. Mm-hmm. And so Minuk put it out with the comments from Arniel, and I kind of agree with Minuk. Because the end of the quote was, we have some couple options. We first have to clear it with him, and then we have to clear it with management. Well, when you're clearing with Adam and management, it's a conditioning stint in the American Hockey League, which I would assume, as you said, when the Moose come back, they will have some practice days.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it.
And so I think they're talking about,
well, yeah,
will you go down to the Moose for a conditioning stint and get in some 5-on-5 contacted practices?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think it's a good idea too, as well. Let's go back to the text line here as well and get some of your thoughts on the weekend that was, and if you want to rate the 3-game homestand where the Jets went 1-2. This texter says, "Hi guys, the Jets we saw this weekend is the team I expected to see this season after the changes made in the offseason. Close games, staying in the fight, but will lose to teams they should win against. It will be a struggle. Do I think that they will grow and get better as the season goes on? Absolutely, and it will be interesting to watch." That's what that texter says. Perry says, "Guys, we're missing 3 regulars, and it's a few games that we could have won. Puck luck some nights, and we get a bad ref call or two, and it's a change of outcome. I was entertained last night at the game, and in both games, 1 goal difference. No panic, and they will do well. Go Jets, go." That one from Perry. And this texter says, "Isn't it obvious they have lost to 3 decent teams, Dallas, Seattle, Utah, and they've beaten 6 poor teams? Are we not overestimating the potential of this current roster of the Winnipeg Jets? Granted, we're missing 3 NHL players. Also, let's not confuse outworked with the other team having more talent. Your assessment would be appreciated." No, I think the Winnipeg Jets are a more talented team than Seattle, and they are a more talented team than the Utah Mammoth as of right now. They got outworked. They got outplayed by a team that played closer to a full 60 minutes than the Winnipeg Jets did in both those games.
But that's what I was just finished saying. I appreciate the text and the question, but you put those three guys in the lineup. Look, you're gonna have to go a long way to find somebody that's gonna outwork Dylan Samberg or Adam Lowry.
Yeah.
And no disrespect to Cole Perfetti, he's a great back checker and all that too. But when we're talking about being outworked, you're gonna have to go a long way to find two players that don't get outworked like those guys do. Mm-hmm. And then you add in, like I'm saying, like they're not the roster that's gonna beat poor teams and lose to good teams. They're the good team, but they're gonna have to work. I mean, what's the difference? Like, we're missing Mason Appleton, which I think Tanner Pearson, Cole Koepke have filled in admirably.
Yeah.
Pearson I know Appleton's had a great start in Detroit. He's putting up some points. But Pearson has come as advertised. He is a great replacement for Mason Appleton, and he has more experience and a Stanley Cup ring. That's a wash to me. Mm-hmm. Nick Ehlers is gone. Fair enough. That's the issue right now.
That's why...
When you need secondary scoring... That's the issue with this team, but they're still good enough to win games with the scoring they have.
That's why Cole Perfetti's injury feels more impactful, is because it's like you've lost Nick Ehlers and Cole Perfetti off of this team.
Yeah, and so when they're healthy, I don't think this is a team that's going to beat bad teams and lose to good teams at all. They're one of the good teams when healthy. Till then, this is what they are. They have to play better in second periods. They have to work and earn it more so than ever.
Yeah. Gord says, boys, please, defense, and penalties. Till they address this wave, goodbye to the playoffs. Mark is playing a hot hand right now. Scott has stressed better defense. Yeah, Mark has a hot hand, but listen, he's earning those opportunities big time. I mean, yeah, he's putting it in the net and he's scoring essentially at will right now. But Mark Scheifele is earning every single chance that he's getting right now. Those are not. Yeah. It's not just like Mark Scheifele is not lucky right now. Everybody, full stop.
I'm sorry, you can bring shooting percentages, and that's going to go down and all this right now. What you're seeing from Mark Scheifele is who Mark Scheifele is. This is who he's become. This is Mark Scheifele. It's not a hot hand. Mm-hmm. His shooting percentage will go down. He won't be scoring as often because right now he's more than a goal per game.
Yeah.
That's not going to continue. But this is who Mark Scheifele is. That's not going to change.
Yeah, and defense, and penalties in Gord's text.
Yes.
Well, yeah.
Way too many penalties, and the defensive, that's what we're talking about.
I mean, those were the two goals against Utah. Honestly, it was mental mistakes on defense. And the penalties, Jim, are getting... Here's the thing, too, that's so frustrating about them, is they're coming at the exact moment when the Jets do not need to be taking a penalty in these tight games. It's totally we're talking about the second period taking away the Jets' momentum and giving the other team momentum. The penalties are taking away their momentum.
Yes, and that second line is not producing. Like if Ehlers was out there.
Yeah.
So that's fair enough. But this is the two-time defending Jennings Trophy winning team. And they weren't the two-time defending Jennings Trophy team because Nick Ehlers was in the lineup, although he's a very good defensive forward. They are because Dylan Samberg and Adam Lowry were out there. Mm-hmm. And to an extent, Cole Perfetti. Ehlers, really good two-way forward, metrics and all that.
Yeah.
But you add those two players and they defend better.
204-780-6868, 204-780.
Well, and I want to add this too.
Yeah, go ahead.
And the ones who are there now aren't defending as good as they could. That's the other thing.
Miss your chance, get your thoughts on the show today. Call the Boston Pizza Jets at noon hotline, open 24/7, 204-780-6800. Boston Pizza, coming for lunch every weekday to Boston Pizza. Get a delicious main side and ice cold drink for only $15. Only at BP. The number one caller will be awarded a $50 gift card to Boston Pizza on Friday. Let's take a break. Let's come back. On the other side, we'll give away that VIP car wash from my good friends at Wash Method. And Patrik Laine, Jim Toth. Habs winger is out 3 to 4 months.
Really sad news.
We'll be right back. We'll talk
with Cameron Poitras and Jim Toth on 680 CJOB.
Yeah, congratulations to our VIP texter who has not got back to us. I do not know the person's name,
but the one. Phone.
Where's that from?
Look at the text.
Oh, I got an email from somebody that was telling me where it was from, and I just don't remember what that's from.
I think when texting first came out, there was an online school program you could go to learn how to text. It'd be like, pick up the phone.
I think you got it.
This is how you text.
I think that's what it is, actually. 204-780-6868. Well, congratulations to this texter who said they've beaten 6-14s, and are we overestimating the potential of this current roster for the Winnipeg Jets? That's a VIP text and a winner VIP car wash. Just get back to us and we'll put your information in.
I do want to mention this. I
ahead.
don't like to bash the Oilers over and over like you do.
It's my favorite
loyal listener,
Rock
Glass Vince is upset. He's like, the Oilers will get it together.
Well, I listen, and
I'm like,
how I feel about the Oilers. I tend to agree with him a little bit.
But, okay, I'll ask you then. Get it together with whom?
Well, I agree with that.
Here's their bottom six. Curtis Lazar, Adam Henrique, and Trent Frederick.
Not good.
Isaac Howard, David Tomasek, and Matthew Savoy.
Not good.
Get what together?
Well, listen,
Is any one of those players going to score 45 points this year?
Nothing would delight me more, but Jim, I cannot see the playoffs starting with the Oilers not in it.
Roslovic looked good last night against Vancouver. He's on with Draisaitl and Vasil Podskozic.
Listen, they're like a cockroach. They'll find a way.
Andrew Mangiapari does not look good this year. They got Nugent Hopkins, Connor McDavid, Leon Draisaitl. We'll see what Roslovic can do. Evan Bouchard cannot defend. He is a turnover waiting to happen this year.
Well, I agree with that.
Darnell Nurse. Matthias Ekholm I love. I think he's a great defenseman. Jake Wallman's been good. Brett Kulak and Ty Emberson. And then their goaltending. Get what together? Where do you think this roster is going?
Patrik Laine is going to be missing 3 to 4 months, undergoing surgery for a core muscle injury.
Very sad.
He's played over the last 4 seasons. He's only played 5 games. He had an assist, averaging just about 12 and a half minutes of ice time over those 5 games in Montreal. He's averaged only 45 games over the last 4 seasons, Jim.
Very sad.
Just over a half a season. What is Line? He's making 8.7 this year. He's in a contract year. What is he going to make next year?
We can talk about that tomorrow, but yeah, sorry I didn't leave enough time here. But yeah. It's sad news for a really good guy who's been through a lot. But I'm with you. I'm like, I don't know what you pay him next year.
We'll be back tomorrow. Jets at noon. Jets Wild. See ya.